Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative Podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions, the worlds of TV, film, music, news, pop culture, sports, lifestyle, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Meliodas. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. I am speaking to the band Rivals. I'm going to have them introduce themselves. They're going to tell us who they are and what they do in the band, and we were going to get into it, starting with Kaylee.
Hello, hi. I'm Kaylee Wolf. I sing the vocals.
Josh.
Oh, hi. I play drum. I play drum.
I'm Sebastian. I play bass.
And I'm Mickett. I play guitar.
Kaylee, Josh, Seb, Mickett, welcome to Popternative.
Hey.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
It's pretty crazy because for people that kind of listen to Rivals, I think there's like a lot kind of going on in your style of music, and there's a lot of different genres that people can say you are. Kaylee, was that kind of, do you think, the plan early on when you guys kind of formed the band? You didn't kind of want to tie yourself down maybe to just one genre and kind of experiment a lot of the times?
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we ever really have a plan.
Not wrong.
Honestly, we kind of just make shit up as we go. Especially writing this record, we kind of just wrote what felt right at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think there was some situations where we were like, we need at least we need a heavy song. And we need something like this just to kind of, I don't know. So yeah, I guess a little bit planned out. We kind of had an idea that we wanted it to be a little versatile, more versatile than the first record.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean,
Josh,
also a lot of the songs too were kind of like we recorded something. We're like, "Yo, that's sick. Let's do it." Like,
Because that was kind of my next question, Josh. I mean, when do you kind of know that you have something good? Is it when you're actually writing it before you record it? Is it when you record it? Like when for you, Josh, were you like, man, we have a good song here? Is it before recording it or is it while recording it?
I think for this stuff, because a lot of it was kind of taken from like when Seb had an idea for Fake Rich and hearing that for the first time, we all kind of knew where it was going, but not to the full extent until later on, obviously. But we all knew it from the get-go that there was a reason why that was going to be good. Mm-hmm. So I think there were definitely times like that where we all kind of like used it and just like evolved on it. But
And Mickey, we were kind of talking about this before we started. I mean, you know, for people that kind of follow the band on Spotify and listen to Rivals, I mean, there's, you know, about 100,000 people on a monthly basis that listen to your band, which is insane to think about. Like, does that like blow your mind, Mickey? Like, it's crazy. It's a lot of people listening to your band on a monthly basis.
It's funny that you say that because we were literally having a conversation in the chat the other day about how we all used to huddle around this one tiny little heater in a garage and like with acoustic guitars and be like, all right, let's make some songs. Hold on, before our toes freeze. You know, so it's weird to look at. You were here, and granted, you know, we're still making sandwiches out of just bread and cheese together. But you know, like now it's 100,000. It's like that many people care to listen to something.
Absolutely. Seb, besides the Spotify streams, what were other kind of moments in the band, like with the band's success, where you kind of like, whether it was like kind of like a reception you got or a show you guys played that made you feel like, wow, like we're actually doing something right, like people actually care enough about us so we can keep this going? Were there some kind of moments or highlights that you can kind of think of, Seb?
I mean, honestly, like the real big one that instantly came to mind was like doing Warped Tour, like just like being a kid and just seeing them on stage and being like, yo, that's gonna be me. I don't know what it's gonna take, but like I'm gonna do it. And then just walking out stage and just seeing all those people there, it's just like, holy crap, like here I am. You know?
I think I've done over like 500 interviews on this thing, and I think the interview that kind of I was a little kind of nervous to do is when I did interview Kevin Lyman from Warped Tour about like what, like, and I had to ask him why he stopped the tour, and I think that was kind of the only time where I ever got like kind of nervous before asking him. But it's true, Kaylee. I mean that festival kind of like is responsible for like a good percentage of the amount of music like people like us have listened to, right? Like it's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, I actually, so many bands that I grew up listening to, I discovered because I went to Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Like, and so many bands that we look up to, we discovered because we went to Warped Tour.
Yeah.
No, I know it's such an unfortunate situation to where kids nowadays aren't going to get to experience it. So we're just going to sound like old people talking about something that once was.
Yeah.
It's
No
just
one
like,
will ever recognize
what?
Ozfest.
What do you think?
Sorry, Josh,
Oh.
what did you say?
Ozfest, that'll never happen again too. That's
Yeah.
like,
So now it's like we're just gonna sound like we're aging ourselves every time we talk about Warped Tour. But yeah, I think Warped Tour was such a staple, and not even our bands, but like every single band in the genre's lives, and not even that, like fucking Katy Perry played Warped Tour.
I remember seeing Katy Perry at Warped Tour. I remember seeing Machine Gun Kelly at Warped Tour. I remember seeing Machine Gun Kelly at Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Funny thing about the Katy Perry thing is when the first time I ever went to Warped Tour, Katy Perry and Bring Me was playing, but we were getting ready for Bring Me to start playing, and Katy Perry was like right next door, and every time the song stopped, all of the Bring Me crowd just booed her every single song until she went off. I was just like, what is happening? But,
I feel like we have to go around now with like our favorite Warped Tour moments. I think we have to. Like, I mean, my favorite one is I remember seeing Sum 41 in Montreal, like the Glamour Kills stage. For some reason, they didn't have them on the main stage.
Yeah.
So
I think all the good ones I don't remember.
It was ridiculous. It was like it was just ridiculous, like seeing like a Sum 41 on like the medium stage. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things. If anyone has a Warped Tour memory, just bring it out. Like,
Yeah, the day I met Haley Williams.
oh,
I was backstage, and at the time I was a photographer, so I was probably 16 or 17 years old, so a long time ago. I saw her. I was with a friend of mine, and we were putting our camera gear into her trunk, and I saw her, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god, hold my camera!" I sprinted over to her, and I was like, "I know you're probably really busy, and I know you're about to go on stage, but can I get 2 seconds to take a photo?" And she was like, "Sure, why not?" And just literally, boop, and I was like, "Love you so much. Have a good one." And that was it. And she made me feel very big because she's so small. She's no way she even weighs 100 pounds. She's so tiny and so cute. And I was like, I just met Haley Williams. So yeah, that one for
but
me.
it's funny too because I mean, obviously you guys want to stay humble and not brag about stuff, but like, there's some people that are probably going to come to your shows or have seen you at shows and be like, "Oh my god, like I'm meeting rivals." Like it does happen. Like that's crazy to think about, right?
Oh,
I don't know.
Sometimes I like have to stop and be like, "Are you sure?"
Like, can I take a picture with you? Like,
Weird.
I sit at home all day.
But Josh, it is kind of weird to think about, eh, Josh?
Oh,
It is. It's a little weird. Just because like we're just everyone. We're normal people. Like I don't know. If you got to know us like in a van situation, you would see that we're just the nerdiest group of individuals, and somehow when we're together, we're just like a family, and we're like the fact that anyone wants to pay attention to our lives on top of our music is beyond me. Thank you so much. Seriously.
Absolutely.
But talking about Warped Tour for me, talking about Warped Tour, seeing Linkin Park, that was cool. Watching them at Warped Tour, they did like a last minute show.
Absolutely. No, it's crazy.
Watching that was super tight.
The cool memories too are the memories of like bands or artists like Seb, you mentioned like Katy Perry and like Linkin Park, like bands that you wouldn't think would play Warped Tour. Because it used to be like just like punk and everything. But the thing is, I did mention on the top that like I think a reason why a band like Rivals is becoming so kind of popular, in my opinion, is because of you're hearing a lot of different kind of things going on in Rivals songs. So different people from different kind of genres, because there's the pop fans that will like you, there's the punk fans that will like you, there's the metalcore fans that will like you. I want to go around and we'll start with Mickett. What do you think some kind of reasons, and I'm hoping I get different answers from all of you, what are some reasons, Mickett, why you think like Rivals hit stride with the audience? Like, what do you think people like about your band? Like, I'm just curious to see what you think about that based on the reception.
Well, gosh, I think honestly, it's because of kind of what you said, where it's very like, and we've talked about this many times before, where it's very like, hey, we don't really know what we are, especially because everyone in this band listens to something different. Like,
But that's
we all have things
great
that we like
though.
together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We all have things that we like together, but we like the things that we're like really dedicated to are like so abstract from each other. And we're really just like, hey, let's just make it up as we go, and just hit whatever demographic it tends to land in.
No, absolutely. And Seb, like before you go your answer, I mean, what he's kind of like, that's kind of what there's a lot of bands, like a big band that I really enjoyed too is a band like Paris, right? When I heard Paris for the first time, I kind of got that vibes too. What is this? Is this pop punk?
Yeah.
Is this pop? Is this dance? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's everything, I guess, right? But what are some reasons, Seb, like, kind of, maybe it's similar to Mick but what are some reasons why you really like this?
Honestly, I would probably say our live performance. Like that's something that like we always get complimented on. Like the people are always shocked about it. It's just we have this energy when we play that just resonates throughout the whole, venue when we do it. Granted, like we're just doing us, but for some reason it's just like everyone is just like, oh my God, it was so amazing. Like I haven't seen something like that in forever. Like, so probably our live performance, I feel, is really, standout-ish.
Kaylee, what about you?
Honestly, I think a part of it is like the personal aspect of it. Like we try really hard to be not like our fans are more than that to us. Or like a lot of people, I know them by first name basis. A lot of them. Like
That's awesome.
if anyone was to message me or hit me up, I will message you. I will talk to you. Like I think a lot of it has to do with that as well, from like a separate aspect. Like I think maybe too, probably because our genres are so random half the time, and it's not even on purpose. It's just kind of we just are making what we like, and other people just happen to be liking it. So we're like, cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But Josh, I mean, kind of to add to that too, and we'll get your answer. But I mean, I don't see why you would have to kind of limit yourself in terms of like what style of music Rivals is, or like what kind of sounds are kind of going on. Like I remember like the 2008, those days, right? Like when bands would, like pop punk bands would play with metal bands, it was like a big deal. It was like, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, Josh, I mean, it's crazy to think about. Like, I don't know why you would want to limit yourself.
You know what's funny? You talk about pop punk bands and metal bands, and one of our friends, Landon, he did a Plot in You tour that was with the Sum 41 as the headliner, and unfortunately we couldn't see that show, but like that, to me, that is a great tour lineup when you think about something that is very poppy and friendly, but it has like a metal tinge because it is Sum 41. But then you have like the Plot in You, which is an awesome band, and they're very aggressive and they're very now, they're like, it's just such a good idea. But I don't know, like you talk about the question was about sound and us and like just the different styles and stuff like that.
Yep.
I don't know, I think we all, it's true, like Kaylee talks about how we all kind of listen to different things, like especially whenever we're driving, like that's when we get the DJ situation, right? And so I don't know, there'll be times where Mick gets like listening to like 80s like Manowar power metal type stuff, and then like Seb will be bumping like some recent rap, and then Kaylee like I don't even know, like whatever new pop thing is on. I think she was playing some Tattoo one time, and that was kind of funny. I don't know. And then like I'll throw on like weird folk music. I don't know. I just listen to a lot of weird things, and we all listen to a lot of weird things, and it just somehow that showcases through our music. And when we get together and we collaborate with these producers like SB and Cody and everyone else, and it's just we're open to the ideas of using different sounds because we listen to so many different things, and that allows us to not limit ourselves, I think, especially with this record, or not, sorry, with these songs, you're gonna hear that a lot.
Absolutely. No, it's great. Well, I got a lot of really good answers there, so that's awesome. Well, Kaylee, Josh, Seb, Mickett, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really appreciate you guys taking the time.
Yes, thank you for having us.
So Kaylee, plug away. I mean, people could follow the band on Instagram. People could, check out like the band anywhere they listen to music. I mean, plug away. Like, what could people expect with Rivals?
Yeah, so we have a new record coming. I can't say exactly when, but you will find out sometime very soon. And we have so much coming, and we're very excited about it. You can follow us and find us everywhere. We are Rivals. We are RVLS with all of our tags, literally all of them. Yeah, thank you so much.
We also just started a Patreon too. If you want to guys take a look at that with early release content, behind the scenes stuff, lessons, gaming with us, whatever it is, just check it out.
I do want to say that is, you remember the whole Kickstarter crowdfundme thing, how that got kind of a little bit of flack because a lot of bands were just doing it like, hey, we want to go on tour, you know what I mean? Like, pay for our van, you know what I mean? Like, you're using it as like a pre-sale, which is what I respect, which is the right way to use it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Hey, people got OnlyFans, we got Patreon, like that's the way I see it. Like,
but do you remember those days though, where everyone was doing a Kickstarter and it was just ridiculous with all the perks and stuff? Mickey, do you remember that? You're nodding your head.
It's because I had a Kickstarter at one point for a project I was doing, and it didn't go well, so I was there.
Special feature, my cat Ziggs. I've been teaching him a trick to see if he does it. He's supposed to kiss.
He is.
Nope, he doesn't. Nope, not even gonna do it. Working on it. Working on it.
Just want to go around quickly. Do you have do you have like personal social medias that people could follow? Like, could people follow Kaylee Wolf on social media as well? Like, what are the handles for you?
My social media is at Kaylee Wolf. It's literally just my name. I think it's right there on everyone's screen. If it's going to be there, I don't know, but
perfect.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can people follow you on social media?
It's just at xjoshovsx and at Candy Labs Designs, spelled with a Z. Those two.
Amazing. Seb, thank you for coming on the show, man. Where can people follow you on social media?
At Sabby Alive, I just changed it. It's Sabby_Alive.
Awesome.
Threw it in real quick.
And Mickey, thanks a lot for coming on the show. What about you? Where can people follow you on social?
Honestly, just look for the name Mickett and look for a beard, and that's pretty much what it is. Pretty true.
Seriously, guys, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I'm a really big fan of Rivals. Just keep doing what you're doing, and just keep kind of breaking down the walls of having to have just kind of one sound, like, because you're obviously proving the point that you don't have to have one sound, which is amazing. So continue doing that. Thank you so much. No, seriously, this was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Go listen to Rivals wherever you listen to music. Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen, they will be there. And until next time, this is Kaylee, Josh, Seb, Mickey from Rivals, and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.